And we are live. Hey guys, welcome back to Critical African Thinkers. As you know, this is a place where we examine everything under the microscope of logic to ascertain what is most factual and logically consistent. So today, I just want to talk about the recent happenings about the killing of the United Health CEO and how what the response has been. The video has been around the internet of the masked man shooting the CEO from behind. Now, surprisingly, there has been very little sympathy for the CEO that was killed. It's shocking. It's shocking that some people are even saying he had it coming. Some people are saying why that they're surprised that this is even happening now. It took this long for something like this to happen, considering the sort of mess, considering the sort of things that health insurance companies they do, considering the number of people that have been hurt from the policies of health insurance companies. And this just brings to forefront the insanity or the stupidity of privatizing something like health, something that affects the life of every human being. I mean, if profit is the end, the be all of an organization, if it is the goal of a private organization, why should they prioritize the health of people? They're not going to prioritize the health of people. They're going to prioritize what makes them money, what gives them money. And can you blame these CEOs? Can you blame them for being the capitalists that they are? No. When Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy says they want to cut government, they want to do all these things. They want the government to be much more efficient. They want to run government like a business. What they're forgetting is that government is meant to serve people, not necessarily to have some return on investment in a financial sense. Businesses, on the other hand, they're meant to serve investors, they're meant to serve profit. So if there is a conflict between serving people and serving profit, what way or which way do you think the business is going to go? If it's a private business, of course, it's going to sacrifice people for profit. And that's what we've seen with these health insurance and with the accusations coming out now that the United Health itself has about the highest, about 32% denial of claims for people who have been paying into this scheme, knowing full well that someday they might need medical help, they might need medical assistance. And when it gets to that point, for some weird reason or another, they are not able to get it. So this is sort of what is behind why a lot of people do not have sympathy for what happened to the CEO. Now, it's tragic that he had to lose his life, but comment after comment after comment, just I've literally not seen anybody being sympathetic except Ben Shapiro, which brings us to the topic of the conversation today. Ben Shapiro made a video, I think it was yesterday or a few days ago, after the death of after the killing of this CEO. And he titled the video, he said, "The evil revolutionary left cheers murder." Now, if you are an unsuspecting person, if you are someone probably who doesn't understand or knows US politics very well, or who hasn't seen the responses to what's happened, you would think that it's the left that is cheering. They're just evil. They're cheering over the death of this man. But that's not the case. I think it is pretty cut across board. Both people from the right and both people from the left, they're sort of unanimous. I think this is the only other thing that I've seen people in US so unanimously agreed on, that health insurance companies are ripping people off, and somehow that this guy got what was coming for him. Now, Ben Shapiro, he has this history of being owned by his audience. But this what's happening now is even much more worse, because I went to the comment section of this video, and every comment after comment, was they were roasting Ben Shapiro for this insane take, for him thinking that this is a leftist problem, for him even assuming, because he made some comments during the video that, oh, if you don't like this health insurance, you could possibly just change to another one. The guy is so out of touch. He doesn't even understand what people are feeling. He doesn't know how can something as tragic as this happen and nobody is sympathetic. You've got to ask yourself, what is the problem? But this is a thing, this is something I've seen with many right wingers. They like to just put their head in the sand and pretend that there is no problem. That's what Ben Shapiro is doing. That's what he did with this video. I don't have time to go through the video, but I'll go through the comments. Now, this one says, Ben Shapiro is a CEO. Ben Shapiro is a CEO. Ben Shapiro is a CEO. You know, with the idea that this is what is coming to CEOs. So, well, that's not good. And then I say, I just realized your entire business model requires that us normal folk hate each other, which is true. I mean, something like this has happened, and he has turned it into a left versus right thing. He has turned it into leftist or evil people. They're cheering the death of someone, when in reality it's not just leftists who are happy about this or who don't really care. Not like they're happy, they don't really care that this has happened to this man. It's not just leftists, it's pretty cut across board, it's pretty bipartisan, but he's making it seem like the lefts are crazy. Another comment says, surprise, out of touch rich guy defends other rich guys. Yeah, he's certainly out of touch because he cannot put himself, he can't feel the pulse of the people. He cannot put himself in a position where he will understand why people are not empathetic to this man. He cannot do that. He's so rich. This is the problem with people who are so rich. They get to a point where they're out of touch. They cannot relate to what normal people go through on a daily basis. Another comment says, seeing rich people be so out of touch on this topic and be so clearly afraid of potential class consciousness truly fills me with hope. Another comment says, this isn't a left versus right issue. It's the working class versus the wealthy. And that's probably why you're trying to pretend it's something it's not. Very, very clear. It's not a left or right issue. It's ordinary human beings who have been taken advantage of for something as important, something as basic as their life, as their health. They've been taken advantage of. And they're like, you know what? You've screwed so many people. So should I really care right now? Should I care that this has happened to you? Another comment says, if you think it's just the left, you're in for a surprise, Ben. And then this one says, this has to be the first time I'm seeing Ben get cooked by his own comment section. Well, I don't know if you've never followed Ben Shapiro on Twitter, but he regularly gets cooked by his own audience. So maybe on YouTube, they are much more sympathetic to him. But on Twitter, on X, he regularly gets cooked by his own audience. And I feel these people don't even bother reading the comment section, because if they do read the comment section of their videos or their posts, they would be much more reflective on their behavior and how they do their business. But it certainly seems like they don't do any of that. And he's not going to see any of these comments. He's not going to be reflective. And he's just going to live in his weird right-wing bubble and keep thinking the world is a certain way while the world is, some other way. Another person says, I'm a conservative and have been since I was a teenager. I will shed no tears for this man. His policies aimed at protecting profits denied insured life-saving treatments. We pay for insurance to help us with expenses we cannot otherwise afford. When they take our money but do nothing for us apart from paying for our annual wellness exam, then the system is broken is broken all to pieces. We, the working class, collectively live in fear of being hospitalized due to the staggering bills and lack of support from our overpriced insurance. If Thompson's death moves the needle towards meaningful reform, then it will be a worthy sacrifice. Yeah. So it's certainly not a it's certainly something that a whole lot of people are feeling, right? Someone else says, LTake. I'm glad the comment section noticed the CEO was actually a criminal. Another comment is, had to break it to you, buddy. Hate to break it to you, buddy, but it's not just the left who is sick of this. Another comment says, I don't know why you're trying to keep pushing this as a left issue. It's clearly across the board. I'm sorry, Ben. 99% of the American people have denied your claim for sympathy for this parasite. You're wrong, Ben. I'm that leftist you always rage about. I have an uncle who is as conservative as they come, voted for Trump and everything. We have very little in common and avoid each other at holiday parties. I can tell you we both wept when my dad slowly died of cancer, while the insurance he paid for kept denying him life saving care. We both saw the injustice in that. The same uncle is posting on Facebook right now. He couldn't give a fuck about no CEO. Insurance companies kill millions of people a year, and they don't discriminate between leftists and conservatives. And that's the point that Ben Shapiro and I mean that's the point that many right wingers don't understand. They don't even get with their support of people like Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy and all these big billionaires, all these very wealthy people. They're not there to protect your interests. It's like that joke that um, Dave Chappelle made about Trump's first tenure, where it was like he saw a whole lot of white people going to vote, not being happy about their choice, but they're voting, and he himself not being happy about his choice and being going to vote. And then he saw these white people voting for Trump, these poor white people voting for Trump, and he was like, he's he is what he's working for me. I'm rich, you're not. So whatever Trump's policies are, they're going to be in my favor. I am rich, you are not. So if you think that these people have your interests at heart, you are in for a massive surprise. If you think that billionaires, the Elon Musks and the Vivek Ramaswamis and all those are other cronies that Trump is surrounding himself with, if you think that they have your interest at heart, if there's anything that gives you an indication what these health insurance companies are doing is exactly how Trump and his cronies want to run the US government and economy. They want to maximize quote unquote profit, but that's not how government should be run. And if it all breaks down, maybe people would eventually learn their lesson that you don't bring a bull, you don't just take a wrecking ball in fact, you don't even change something that you don't understand the purpose of it in the first place. You don't know, just because it's not apparent to you the purpose that something is serving doesn't mean it doesn't serve any purpose, doesn't mean you can just come in and destroy it and nothing bad happens. There are so many things that look redundant. There's so many things that look as if they serve no purpose. But if you take them out, everything crumbles. So you've got to be very, very careful. So, Ben Shapiro is getting a reality check from his audience. He's not going to learn. He's still going to think this is a leftist issue. He's going to bury his head in the sand. Maybe many more CEOs are going to bury their heads in the sand that this is a leftist thing, but I don't think so. I think many of them understand this. But Ben Shapiro, I know he understands this as well, but he's a businessman. He's trying to drive traffic. He's trying to create this division. He's trying to write on this tragedy that's happened and try to create, it's a left versus right thing, which it isn't, right? So but I've got to ask, why are Americans, even though I sort of have an idea, why are they not sympathetic to this man at all? What's happening? I mean, what the hell is happening? Why this shift? Why this monumental shift that a whole lot of people don't really care that this man was killed? Is this something that would, is this sort of attitude something that would fester, that would continue, or is there something meaningful that is going to change considering what has happened? And it's also strange that the guy who killed him has still not been caught at this point in time. What's happening? Are people not willing to come forth with information that might lead to his arrest? Or even the authorities, are they deliberately being nonchalant about it? So these are so many questions that need answers. Well, I just needed or wanted to give my thoughts on this, and so that's the stream for today. That's the video for today. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you in another live stream. It's bye for now.